still in high school, 16 years old, and listen to this production. This is a 16-year-old. Music has no age, has no boundaries. But the music spirits, dog, once they catch you, the house spirits, once they catch you, you become this. Listen to this shit. I don't understand how. Yo, what's up, everyone? Welcome back to another episode of It's About Deep with the one and only, the Deepers, coming for you live. Welcome back, housemates. Welcome back to a brand new episode, to a brand new week. And for today's show, today's episode, got an exclusive preview lined up for you guys. Exclusive preview, track titled Whispers by a producer that goes by the name of Black Desciple. Little bit about Black Desciple that I know of. He's the youngest producer that I have ever encountered in my life. I think he's still in high school, if I'm not mistaken. And the type of music that you're gonna hear from this exclusive preview that he provided us with, you'd swear it's an older individual. What I said to him is that, my brother, you're young, but you have an old soul with you, because your music soul or your music spirit is very old, my brother. It can't be at this young age you're producing music of such capabilities and such function and such structure and such very intense drives included within upon it. Let me break down the track into for you so you can understand it in three formats, which is the foundation, chord progression, lastly the melody. Starting off with the foundation, it's a simplistic at the start, the beginning, progressing forward. You think it's just a simplistic kick, snare, clap structure, but as it progresses forward and moves forward, it takes a very, very strong turn due to the bass line that just comes out of nowhere, which gives off a very basic structure to it that just changes the whole entire element of the track. And then you start to think and process that who the fuck is producing this at that starting end? If you're a person who is listening to the track for the first time and you don't know who Black Desciple is, you'll be like, who the fuck is this? Progressing forward towards the chord progression. Now, it's a very thin structure of elements, it consists of a very thin structure of elements, which brings about an intense vibration to the track. Thin structure of elements, I find it that it's hard to maintain a thin structure of elements or thin structure of chords, not including dense chords, or should I say thick chords or a lot of chords, because you have to maintain a lot of structures when you're producing a track that consists of thin structures of chords, where you have to maintain a nice chord balance, a nice chord progression, a nice tone and structure, which brings out the most vital aspect in my point of view, which is texture, which could be either, smooth texture with a dabble of roughness towards it, but it's very difficult to maintain it. And then Beck Disciples within this track, Whispers, did it in a very, very unique and significant manner. Moving forward, the use of piano elements in the structure, because the track is filled with a bit of lock drum, or should I just say piano elements here and there. It doesn't take away from the track that it's a deep house track, but it also reinstills the fact of the collaboration of deep house and just this elevation and involvement of just the different instruments and different elements you can include yourself, which you can include in a track, because the inclusion of the amapiano elements, or just elements in structure, the musical elements, intensifies the dynamic of the track, meaning the volume of the track or the movement, or however you can put it in words, of it keeps on just building up and building up and intensifies dynamic change. The volume change, the volume intensity change from just traveling on a soft, smooth structure to then all of a sudden it's a bit rough and it's getting thinner and thinner and it's just getting harder and harder. Pause. But it increases every time as the chord progression moves forward, meaning that it is a track that is filled with continuation and tension. And then another important key element that I like to discuss about when speaking about this production is the structuring. Structuring is a very key aspect of production that needs to be emphasized in music production, you know, especially the structuring. As I said, for this track, it consists of 10 elements. Doesn't have a lot of elements included in it, but structuring is key in this production. So when I speak about the layout and the sequencing of the track Whispers, that's where I say structuring is a 10 out of 10. Black Disciple did something here. He structured a track into nice key components where sequencing is vital. At this point, something comes about. At this point, something comes about, but still maintaining the structure and rhythm of the track progressing forward, which just keeps on just. I tell you, dog, the structuring, it brings about a sense of movement to the track, which allows elements to move forward and most importantly breathe, have their own posture, have their own structure, have their own place where they can just be themselves. It breathes and then they just sync together and travel in a synchronized format. Yo, when moving to the melody, we're gonna go there now. But I need you guys to listen to this track. This kid is coming with something that I myself am impressed. I'm impressed because you have to look out for this kid. I kid you not, guys. Black Disciple, you have to look out for this kid. He's the future. I don't recognize him as, let me not say much. I feel like there's a lot of words because I've been listening to his shit and I've been bumping it since, and I've been emphasizing and bringing noise to people who are close to me and other fellow producers that this kid is amazing. You have to have one of his tracks just to survive a set of deep house, or not even survive, but to show that you're playing good music because the kid is breathtaking. Makes me speechless, to be quite honest. And I'm someone who speaks a lot about music. But without further ado, exclusive preview. Track title Whispers, Black Disciple. Let's go. All right. Before I continue, important information. This kid is 16 years old. 16 years old. Still in high school. Still in high school. 16 years old. And listen to this production. This is a 16-year-old. Music has no age, has no boundaries. But the music spirits, dog, once they catch you, the house spirits, once they catch you, you become this. Listen to this shit. I don't understand how. Nah, fam. This is not a kid. This is a grown ass man. This is not a kid. This is an old, not even old. This is a new, young, spirited house music producer. And the dark side ones. You know, the ones that keep on, they produce songs that just want you to keep on moving. The ones that when you're like, hey, asking Lale, let me listen and hear. You know, I want to vibe. And then it just kicks in. And you're like, Yazin, take all my money. Take all my money, DJ. Take all my money. You listen to this track, you're at the club, you're like, Yazin, just take all my money. What do you want? Let's drink, let's have a night. It's a very dark aura track. It's a very dark aura track, dog. Let's finish it off. Melody. With regards to the melody is exactly what I speak of. It consists, when I speak about the melody, I'll speak about the feeling of the track. And with this track, it consists of a very hypnotic feeling of just wanting to groove and keep on dancing and keep on jamming to the track. You can't stop. You saw my reaction here. That's why I say it's a very dark, or when I speak about the timbrel or the tremble or timbrel, whatever the English is, which speaks about the color of the track, what color you sort of sense or sort of feel, or not feel, but see. Like when you close your eyes, obviously it's dark, but you get what I mean. The sort of color you feel or see from the track. This one is a very dark orange color, dog. It's a very dark color. It's a very, very dark track. Like, it's a dark orange track that when you listen to it, you saw my facial expression. You give off this disgusting face of like, you know, you're witnessing something disgusting. But in this instant, you're hearing something and you're like, damn, You know when you like, that facial expression to express that, nah, dog, what you did here was disgustingly good. It's exactly what you get from this. That's the melody that you feel. Whispers, Black Disciple, my brother, you're going far, dog. You're going far. Keep on pushing. This, I kid you not, this will push you somewhere. I won't rectify you. I won't define you as the upcoming kid. You're not a kid, though. You're an upcoming man. You're an upcoming producer. You're the producer. You're here. Young kid producing at such a young age. It's very beautiful. Shout out to you, my dog. Shout out to you, my G. Keep on pushing. Keep on pushing the movement of house. You're very gifted within the house spectrum. Just keep on pushing it and do your best because you're going somewhere. Personally, for me, the deepest, to you, I'll tell you myself, my dog. Well, let's wrap it up here before I get too emotional. It's your boy, the one and only, the deepest, and we're signing it off here. Peace.